started.
First up is Reed Conley.
Welcome back, Roadrunner fans, to Game 2 of this doubleheader versus the Clark College Penguins. The first pitch on the way from our starting pitcher. Blake will get back to me in a minute. We're trying to get everything sorted out here. I can tell you who the batter is. Reed Conley. And a 2-0 count on Reed Conley. That's KJ Strickland on the mound, not KJ Harrison. Kyle is his given name. His teammates call him KJ. So Kyle Strickland, KJ Strickland on the mound. 2-1 the count on Reed Conley, the center fielder. Thank you again for tuning in. This is the second game of the doubleheader. LBCC won the first game in a pitcher's duel, 1-0. Here, Strickland going to work on Conley. 2 balls and 2 strikes. And a line drive up the middle for a base hit to lead off this second game of the doubleheader. Reed Conley now aboard first base for Trey Reinhardt, the right fielder. The lineup for Coach Mark Magdaleno. Reed Conley is the runner at first. Trey Reinhardt, the batter. Josh Berman hitting third. Hayden Humphrey hitting fourth. Nathan Alfonso, the DH, at fifth, as that one misses low and in there for a strike. Alec Riviera hitting sixth. Dane Stapley at seventh. Reynold Gonzalez in the 8-hole, and Alec Cook rounding off the order hitting ninth. Bunt shown here by Trey Reinhardt with a runner on first base and nobody out. He pulls back and the count goes to 1 ball and 1 strike to Reinhardt. A bunt shown again and a throw back to first. Colton Cosner, the first baseman, holding on the runner, Reed Conley. 1 ball, 1 strike. Bunt still shown. Pulled back and bounced off of the catcher's gear, or the umpire's gear, and it sounded like the coaches for Clark wanted Conley to be off on that pass ball there. Nonetheless, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Runner at first base, top of the first inning in the second game of the doubleheader. KJ Strickland going to work on Trey Reinhardt. Bunt was shown and the bat was not pulled back. He takes a strike. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Nobody out and a runner on first. Conley aboard with the leadoff single to open up the game down the middle. Strickland looks back to the runner at first. Swing, and the 2-2 pitch is grounded down the line. Colton Costner applying the tag. For out number 1, Reed Conley moves to second base, however, and Josh Berman now will come to the plate. Berman is the first baseman, hitting .283 on the season. He has 14 RBIs and leads his team in that category. Here with an opportunity to strike first, Berman steps in with Reed Conley on second base. Thanks again for tuning in. Lydia Parker on the call. Big breaking ball drops in for a strike. Nice pitch from KJ Strickland. Lydia Parker on the call and Blake Vandell on the camera. The 0-1 is fouled back. And finishing writing in my scorecard here. The 0-2 is lifted in the air down the right field line, making chase as Costner, and over his head, foul ball drops Good hustle there by Costner and Caleb Smith. And Tate Cowden actually all hustling out to try to make that catch. Alright, the scorecard is finally filled out, so 0-2 the count. With 1 out, Reed Conley the runner on second. LBCC taking on Clark in the second game of the doubleheader. LB now 7-2 in conference, 17-6 overall with the win versus Clark in the last game. Clark moves to 3-2 over in conference and 12-5 overall. Strike 3 called. 2 down. The first strikeout for KJ Strickland.
Left fielder, 33, Hayden Humphrey.
Hayden Humphrey, the left fielder, coming to the plate. With 2 outs, nobody on, top of the first inning. Thanks again for joining us on this now cloudy, slightly rainy, very windy April day. Time called just before the pitch is thrown. Around the infield for LBCC, Colton Costner at first, Tate Cowden at second, Logan Meadows at short, Josh Congdon at third, Jack Bauer behind the plate, and KJ Strickland, the starting pitcher, will get you some numbers on Strickland momentarily. The first pitch to Humphrey is fouled back and out of play. 0-1 the count. Spencer Desmond's in left, Cole Carter in center, and Caleb Smith playing right field. The 0-1 down low, 1-1 the count now with 2 outs. Hayden Humphrey the batter. KJ Strickland comes into today's game with a record of 3 wins and 3 losses. He has a 2.76 ERA through 29 1/3 innings of work in 6 appearances. KJ has started 3 of those 6 appearances. He's here in his 7th appearance. And that one down low too. 2 balls and 1 strike. Strickland has 21 strikeouts on the year compared to 11 walks. 2 outs, 2-1 the count, a runner on second base. Humphrey the batter. This one skips off the glove of Bauer all the way to the backstop. Moving down to third base is Reed Conley. Now with a runner on third, the count goes to 3-1 with 2 outs. Hayden Humphrey the batter. Humphrey, a .326 hitter. He has 4 RBIs on the season. And again, this team comes into this doubleheader today hitting .262 as a ball club. Linn Benton hitting just .250. And as we saw in the last game, not much offensive output for either team, but that was mostly due to the fact that both the starters for this ball club, both ball clubs did a fantastic job and went 7 innings each. With 2 outs now, runners on the corners, with the first walk issued of the game from KJ Strickland to Hayden Humphrey. Nathan Afonso, the 5-hole hitter and designated hitter, stepping into the box. 2 on, 2 out. Strickland looks back, the runner at first, being held on by Colton Costner. The first pitch, breaking ball, just misses. 1-0 the count on Alec Rivera. Alec is a .229 hitter. He has 5 RBIs this season. Rivera is a sophomore from Graham, Washington, and Graham Kapowsin High School. The 1-0 misses. 2-0 the count, and Jack Bauer, as well as Colton Costner, will head out and give a couple words of encouragement to their pitcher, KJ Strickland. Strickland, again, coming in with a 3.3 record, 2.76 ERA through 29 1/3 innings pitched. Strickland also has a batting average against of .280. 2 balls, no strikes as Nathan Afonso steps back in. outs and runners on the corners. Strickland may be having some problems with the signs here as he brushes it off and steps off the rubber for a moment before coming set and then throwing back to first. Hayden Humphrey, the runner on first. Reed Conley, the runner on third base. Top of the first inning, no score, and the Penguins threatening. Nathan Alfonso, the designated hitter, at the plate. 2-1 the count. I believe I said that Rivera was at the plate, but pardon me, it is Alfonso. So Nathan Alfonso, the designated hitter, at the plate. As Hayden Humphrey gets back, Alfonso hitting .333 on the season. He has 6 RBIs. He, along with Josh Berman, lead the team in triples with 2. 2 balls, 1 strike, 2 outs, runners on the corners. KJ Strickland going to work on Nathan Alfonso. This one in the dirt and gets away from Bauer, but not far enough for Conley to think about coming home. On the play, however, or on the pitch, however, Humphrey takes second base. So now 2 runners in scoring position for Alfonso, who again has 6 RBIs on the season. Nathaniel Alfonso, again, the freshman from Graham, Washington, Graham Kapowson High School. 3 balls, 1 strike from KJ Strickland, who has given up a hit, had a strikeout, and given up a walk in this inning. Here, the 3-1 is fouled back and out of play, and the count goes full at 3 balls and 2 strikes. The wind slightly dying down here, and still blowing in, however, from left to right. But I'm thankful for the moment that it's not whipping in as it was earlier. As I went back and listened, you could hear it on the microphone earlier, so sorry about that. The 3-2 pitch is grounded at Logan Meadows, who's up with it and throws over to first for out number 3. So 1 hit, no runs, and we go to the bottom of the first inning with LVCC coming up, and Colton Costner about to lead things off. So thanks again for tuning in. No score as we go to the bottom of the first inning.
First baseman, number 5, Colton Costner.
Bottom of the first inning, no score. Colton Costner leading things off for Linn Benton. The third baseman, Costner, steps in, hitting .337 on the season. Costner second on his team in batting average, just behind Josh Congdon at .338. The first pitch from Nathaniel Bresner Mendoza misses outside. 1-0 the count. The 1-0 pitch is grounded foul. 1 ball and 1 strike. Bottom of the first inning. LBCC taking on Clark College, the Roadrunners versus the Penguins. Costner awaiting the 1-1 from Bresner Mendoza. And the count goes to 1-2 on the swing and a miss. I meant to ask if Nathaniel Bresner Mendoza has a nickname. The pitcher with a hyphenated last name and 3-syllable first name. As Colton Costner fouls off the 1-2, and the count remains 1 ball and 2 strikes. Nathaniel Bresner Mendoza comes into the game with a 3.37 ERA through 16 innings of work. Here on the 1-2 pitch, Costner lifts it in the air, but playable for Reed Conley in center field. For out number 1, that'll bring Jack Bauer to the plate. Jack is the catcher in today's second game of the doubleheader. Alex O'Rourke started behind the plate in the first game. Bauer comes into today's ball game hitting .209. And takes the first pitch for a ball. Bauer's a sophomore from Union High School in Vancouver, Washington. The 1-0 pitch, called a strike. So just gotten the painter on the outside corner. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out, bottom of the first inning. Nathaniel Bresner Mendoza going to work and misses. 2-1 the count now. And I'm having trouble with the Mendoza because I want to say Mendozona, as in George Mendozona, the player from Bend that's coming to play for Oregon State next year. Mendoza comes back, and the 2-1 is a swing and a miss, and the count goes to 2 balls and 2 strikes. Bresner Mendoza, through 16 innings of work, has a 3.37 ERA, and that one's fouled off by Bauer to stay alive. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Bresner Mendoza has 14 strikeouts compared to 4 walks overall through 5 appearances. Bauer fouls that one back at the plate as well to stay alive. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out on what really is a beautiful day here. Just a little windy. 2 balls, 2 strikes. The pitch, slap grounded down the line, fielded by Bresner Mendozona, but safe is Jack Bauer. And that would have been a hard play to make. Bresner Mendoza slid on his knees in order to even field it. As you can see, hopefully you can see little Liam Hibbard at some point during this game, the bat boy for Linn Benton today. Liam doing a great job at bat boy. Fun to have him with the team today. So with 1 out, Jack Bauer aboard, and Damon Peters steps into the right-handed batter's box. Peters, a designated hitter, takes the first pitch for a strike. Bresner Mendoza, the starting pitcher, has a record of 1 win and 1 loss in 5 appearances. And opponents have a 237 batting average against him. Peters awaiting the 0-1 pitch. Bauer draws a throw back to first. Slides back in time. Peters a batter with 1 out. Caleb Smith in the cleanup spot on deck. No score, bottom of the first inning. LBCC hosting Clark. The second game of the doubleheader, LB won the first one 1-0. A chopper to the shortstop. He goes to 2 for 1, back to first, double play. A 6-4-3 ends the inning. And 1 hit, nothing across, however, for Linn Benton. And we will go to the top of the second inning. with no score. Thanks again for tuning in to LBCC Baseball. Leading off for Clark in the top of the second inning is Alex Rivera, the third baseman. KJ Strickland here, the starter, issues the first pitch ball. 1-0 the count on Rivera. Alec is a .229 hitter as the rains start to pick up here again. And the 1-0 pitch misses again. 2-0 the count on Rivera, the 6-hole hitter. Alex is a sophomore from Graham, Washington. Here he grounds it to Josh Congdon at third. Congdon made a nice throw, and Colton Cosner unable to dig it out. So aboard first base on an error is Alex Rivera with nobody out here in the top of the second inning, no score, and Dave Stapley, the catcher, coming to the plate. Dane Stapley, I believe. The first pitch swinging is a bunt down the first baseline. So now one down, and Alex Rivera moves over to second base on the sacrifice. Reynold Gonzalez will come to the plate. Ronaldo Gonzalez, pardon me, is a freshman from Westview High School in Portland. He swings at the first pitch and fouls it back and out of play. And a balk called. So no, the pitch does not count. So back to 0-0. And on the balk, Alex Rivera heads down to third base. So one out, a runner on third, no score. Ronaldo Gonzalez pops one into shallow right field. Moving back is Tate Cowden. He makes the catch. 2 down.
Next batter, second baseman, number 4, Alec.
Alec Cook will come to the plate, the 9-hole hitter and the second baseman. Cook is a sophomore from Springfield High School. The runner on third base. The first pitch in there for a strike from Strickland. 2 outs. Scoreless in the top of the second inning. Again, Lydia Parker on the call. Thank you again for tuning in. This is the second game of a doubleheader. LBCC won the first game 1-0 in a pitcher's duel as the 0-1 high and tight. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs. Alec Rivera, the runner, on third. And Alec Cook, the batter. Colton Cosner at first base, Tate Cowden at second. Foul at the plate, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Logan Meadows playing short, Josh Congdon at third. In the outfield, Spencer Desbeans in left, Cole Carter in center, and Caleb Smith playing right field. Jack Bauer behind the plate, and KJ Strickland, the pitcher. A big chop and foul. The count will remain 1-2. Strickland again comes into today's ball game with an ERA of 2.76 through 29 1/3 innings of work and 6 appearances. Strickland opponents have a .280 batting average against him. Strickland reading the signs from his batter mate behind the plate. This one's grounded towards Logan in the hole, and he fires over to first, and this one too, just a little too low, and drops out of the glove of Colton Costner. A similar, and on the throw, Alec Rivera scores the first run of the ball game. So now Clark up 1-0 in the top of the second inning. A similar throw, but by Congdon at third, put Rivera aboard, but just too low for Colton Costner to dig out there at first base. So now runner on first, 2 outs. Clark up 1-0. The runner goes, and Alec Cook was the batter. He'll be back up as Jack Bauer throws out Alec Cook on his way to second. So, pardon me, Reed Conley will be back up. And we will be back after this with Clark up 1-0 on no hits and an error. So Clark up 1-0 going to the bottom of the second inning. Again, thank you for tuning in. Oh, really? Oh. Leading off the bottom of the second inning, Caleb Smith, the right fielder. 1-0 Penguins in this bottom of the second, as the first pitch is in there for a strike to Smith. And the second one low and in from Nathaniel Bresner Mendoza. Mendoza again with a 3.37 ERA through 16 innings of work and 5 appearances. Caleb with a big swing and a miss, and the count goes to 1 ball and 2 strikes. Smith the batter, Josh Congdon on deck, and Tate Cowden in the hole. In the heart of the order here, Caleb Smith is the 4-hole hitter, and Congdon on deck. Good hitters in all of these guys. Caleb Smith takes in the dirt 2 balls and 2 strikes. Smith is a sophomore from Crescent Valley High School, right down the road in Corvallis, Oregon. Strike 3 called.
Next up, third baseman, number 2.
That's the first strike for Mendoza as Josh Congdon steps into the box. Congdon leads his team in batting average at .338. That's 25 hits in 74 at-bats. Awaiting the first pitch from Nathaniel Bresner Mendoza. And I did hear one of his teammates call him Mendoza, not Bresner, Mendoza, so hopefully I can call him Mendoza as well. Josh Congdon, the batter, the freshman from North Thurston High School, and Lacey Washington. I believe the count is 1-1. Yes, it is. They just changed on the scoreboard. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Bottom of the second inning, and Clark up 1-0. LBCC won the first game of this doubleheader 1-0, and here Clark with the upper hand at the moment. 1-2 the count on Josh Congdon. I would like to extend my deepest condolences to Dakota Thomas Tiger's family, an LBCC student and friend of mine that passed away last week. And just as an LBCC family, as the 1-2 is swung on and missed, I'd like to extend my condolences. Back-to-back strikeouts here for Mendoza in this bottom of the second. And encourage everyone to keep the Tiger family in your thoughts and prayers going forward. And again, he will be missed greatly. 2 outs. Clark up 1-0. And at the plate is Tate Cowden. He swings at the first pitch and fouls it back. The wind's still blowing, the sun's still shining, and it's still raining somehow. All those things combined, and nothing new for us in the Mid-Valley. The 0-1 pitch is grounded at the third baseman, Rivera, who's up with it, and throws over to first for out number 3. Nothing across, 2 strikeouts for Mendoza. And we go to the top of the third inning, Clark up 1-0. Thank you again for tuning in to LBCC Baseball. Leading off, the top of the order, Reed Conley. Top of the third inning, Clark up 1-0. KJ Strickland, the starter, going to work here. In his third inning of work, the 1-0 pitch is lifted in the air. Foul territory, but playable for Colton Costner. Just a few feet in front of the LBCC dugout. He makes the catch for out number 1.
Next batter,
That'll bring Trey Reinhardt to the plate. Trey is the right fielder. And takes first pitch up high. 1-0 the count on Trey Reinhardt, the sophomore from Maple Valley, Washington, and Tahoma High School. He lines this one into the glove of the diving Logan Meadows, who fired across for a great play. And hopefully Blake got that on camera. Great play from Logan Meadows.
number 1, first baseman, Josh.
And Meadows, a kid with another bright future in this game. Gets the uniform dirty there and gets out number 2 on an impressive diving 6-3 putout. That'll bring Josh Berman to the plate. Berman is a freshman from Medford, Oregon, and South Medford High School. He's hitting .283 on the season and takes the first pitch for a ball. He leads his teams in categories here. He lines one down the left field line, and that's going to be fair. One of the categories he leads his team in is doubles. And here, actually, he was tied with Nathan Alfonso with 2 doubles, and now with a stand-up double with 2 outs in the top of the 3rd inning, he puts himself ahead on his team now with, he has 6 doubles and 3 triples. So now pulls way ahead with 6 doubles on the season, and a stand-up double here to left field is Josh Berman now aboard first. That'll bring Hayden Humphrey, the left fielder, to the plate. Hayden walked in his first at bat. Here with 2 outs, an opportunity to put his team up by 1 more. He lines this one past the umpire into left field. Coming in to score, it'll be Josh Berman. The play at the plate, and the throw off the mark. An RBI single for Hayden Humphrey. Clark up 2-0 in this top of the 3rd inning. That'll bring Nathan Alfonso to the plate.
Number 12, designated hitter, Nathaniel Alfonso.
Nathan is the designated hitter. And a freshman from Graham, Washington, Graham Kapowsin High School. With 2 outs, a line drive down the left field line, and again, this one just foul. Spencer Desbeaton's playing pretty far off the line there. And trotting back to the box is Nathan Alfonso. Hayden Humphrey, the runner on first, 2 outs, and Nathan Alfonso, the batter. Alfonso, 3rd on his team in batting average, hitting .333. He is tied for the most triples on his team with 2, and tied with Josh Berman, the runner aboard. Or pardon me, the runner who just came in to score. Clark leads it now 2-0 in the top of the 3rd inning with 2 outs here and an 0-2 count on Nathan Alfonso. Strickland comes to the plate. This one goes the other way into right field. Smith picks it up and throws it into Meadows, who cuts it off. Going all the way to 3rd base on the hit is Hayden Humphrey, and Nathan Alfonso aboard on an opposite field single to put runners on the corners with 2 outs and Alec Rivera, the 3rd baseman, coming to the plate. Rivera steps into the right-handed batter's box. He's a sophomore from Graham, Washington. And the throw back to first, not in time. Rivera hitting .229, this entire team hitting pretty well. .262 as a ball club. With runners on the corners, 2 outs, Rivera the batter. Breaking ball just misses the inside corner. 1-0 the count. Rivera is the 3rd baseman, and Dane Stapley, the catcher, on deck. A 31 bluff move. I heard yesterday that that move is now illegal in the majors. You can't do the 3-1 bluff. I think because they're trying to speed up the game. I think that's something they're trying to get out. It's 2 seconds that it takes, but they're trying to speed it up. The 1-0 is fouled at the plate. I think maybe off the front foot. Rivera, who takes his time to walk it off, and the umpire giving him time, definitely did not feel good. And yes, off the foot there, Rivera. Hayden Humphrey, the runner at 3rd. Nathan Alfonso, the runner at 1st. 2 outs. Clark up 2-0. Top of the 3rd inning. Strickland gets the sign he wants and comes to the plate for a strike. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Jack Bauer behind the plate, giving the signs to KJ Strickland. Strickland, again, a 31 bluff, and this time they have the runner that was on first in a pickle. The throw down to home plate, and the ball is dropped. Logan Meadows attempts to get the runner, Hayden Humphrey, at home, and instead, Humphrey scores. Bauer not able to hold on to the throw. Not a bad throw from Logan, but perhaps Bauer wasn't expecting it behind the plate. And on the throw to home that didn't get Humphrey, Nathan Afonso moves to second base. So now Clark up 3-0, top of the third inning. 2 runs coming across in this inning as Rivera lifts the 1-2 pitch high in the air to center field. Cole Carter makes the catch and retires the side, but after Clark picks up 2 runs on 3 hits, and there were no errors committed by Linn Benton. Clark leads at 3-0. We go to the bottom of the third after this. Thanks again for tuning in to LBCC Baseball. Cole Carter leading things off in the bottom of the third inning. This is Cole's first at bat. Nathaniel Bresner Mendoza has set down the Roadrunners in order, both in the first and in the second. He also has 2 strikeouts. Pardon me, I shouldn't say he set down them in order, but 3 batters came to the plate in both innings. In the first, however, Jack Bauer did single, and the sole hit of the game, as we'll have head coach Mark Magdaleno come out for some reason. 1 ball, 1 strike on Cole Carter, the center fielder. Jack Bauer did single in the first, and then Damon Peters grounded into a 6-4-3 double play. So 3 batters have come up in the first and the second. Here in the bottom of the third, Cole with a big swing and a miss. And the count goes to 1-2 on Cole Carter. At the bottom of the order, Logan Meadows on deck. Carter swings and misses. 3rd strikeout of the game for Mendoza.
Next batter.
Logan Meadows,
Number 11,
the
Logan
batter,
Meadows.
came in late as a defensive replacement for Josh Congdon in the first game. LBCC did win the first game, for those of you just tuning in, 1-0. Here in the second game, Clark is up 3-0. And a new baseball given to Mendoza. The first one in there for a strike to Meadows, who is at short today and hitting in the 8 hole. Meadows is hitting .095 on the season. Here he takes high and inside, 1 ball, 1 strike, and 1 out. bottom of the third inning, LBCC trailing 3-0 over under the Clark College Penguins. Mendoza reading the signs from Dane Stapley. He comes in there for a strike. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Logan Meadows. Meadows is a sophomore from Niceville High School in Niceville, Florida. He swings and misses for out number 2. 4 strikeouts now through 3 innings, or not even through 3 innings, through 2 2/3 for Nathaniel Bresner Mendoza. Spencer Desbeans, bottom of the order, coming to the plate in the left-handed batter's box. Desbeans hitting .235 on the season. He steps in with 2 outs. First pitch in there for a strike to Desbeans. Spencer, the sophomore from West Salem High School, and a native of Salem, Oregon. The 0-1 misses. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs. Nobody on base. That one misses just inside. You could hear a grunt from Bresner Mendoza on that slider. Mendoza kicks and comes. And the 2-1 misses. 3 balls and 1 strike with 2 outs. Clark leading 3-0 in the bottom of the third inning here. Desbeans trying to extend this bottom of the third, and he will with a base hit line drive into left field. Desbeans with the second hit of the ball game for Linn Benton. Puts himself aboard for Colton Cosner, the leadoff hitter and third baseman. Cosner hitting .337, and a guy who again has an opportunity to extend this bottom of the third. Costner reads some signs from Coach Ryan Gibson down the third base coaching box. And the first pitch in there for a strike for Mendoza. Spencer Desbeans the runner on first. 2 outs. Colton Costner the batter. Jack Bauer on deck. Desbeans being held on by Josh Berman at first. As the first pitch hits Colton Costner. And that brings Jack Bauer to the plate. Bresner Mendoza started off this inning with back-to-back strikeouts. And then with 2 outs, Spencer Desbeans with a line drive single to left. He is now aboard second base. And Colton Costner now aboard first on the hit by pitch. Jack Bauer now the batter. Bauer with the only other hit of the game. Takes the first pitch for a strike. And it doesn't look like Bauer liked that call. It looked a little low in from our vantage point. 0-1 the count with 2 outs. Runners on first and second. LB trailing 3-0. The 0-1 misses high and away. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs. Jack Bauer at the plate. Bauer hitting .209 on this season. He has 13 RBIs, with a chance to put his team on the board here with Spencer Desbeans, the runner at second. Colton Costner at first base. That one misses just high. 2 balls, 1 strike, 2 outs. Clark leading 3-0. Jack Bauer, the batter. Damon Peters on deck. The 2-1 is fouled at the plate. And the count goes even. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out, 2 on. LB trailing 3-0. Thank you again for tuning in. This is the second game of the doubleheader. LB will be back at home next Friday versus Lane. That's the next game. Next Friday, 1 p.m. versus Lane here at home. That one misses, and the count runs full at 3 balls and 2 strikes. With 2 outs, runners on first and second, LB trailing 3-0 in the bottom of the 3rd inning here, taking on the Clark College Penguins. LB with a record of 7-2 in the conference, 17-6 overall. Clark with a record of 3-2 in conference and 12-5 overall. The 3-2 pitch. Foul. Not only did the runners go, but making it all the way to the prospective next base. And they'll head back to first and second. Spencer Desbian's the runner at second. Colton Cosner, the runner at first base. With 2 outs and a 3-2 count, the runners will go on the pitch. And the pitch from Mendoza is lifted high and foul, out of play. The count remains 3 balls and 2 strikes. Two outs, LBCC looking to put themselves on the board, trailing 3-0 in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Nathaniel Bresner Mendoza, the pitcher, reading the signs from Dane Stapley behind the plate. The 3-2 pitch, high and away, to load him up. Damon Peters will come to the plate. Peters, a guy that has done more to score runs than anyone else on his team. 16 RBIs. Tate Cowden next with 15, but Damon Peters does lead the team in that category. 16 RBIs for the designated hitter, Damon Peters. Peters is a freshman from Hillsborough High School. The base is loaded. 2 outs. LB trailing 3-0. Peters takes the first pitch inside. 1-0 from Mendoza. And Mendoza started out this bottom of the 3rd strong with back-to-back strikeouts. He then gave up a single to Spencer Desbians, hit Colton Conser, and walked Jack Bauer. The 1-0 pitch misses outside. 2-0 the count now with 2 outs. And the base is loaded. That'll bring out the pitching coach for this Clark College squad. This is the first inning that Nathaniel Bresner Mendoza has faced more than the minimum. And LBCC making him work in this inning. Loading the bases with 2 outs. LB trailing 3-0 in this bottom of the 3rd. The plate umpire will head out and break up the meeting on the mound between Nathaniel Bresner Mendoza and the catcher, Dane Stapley, and the pitching coach. Josh Berman playing first base for the Penguins. Alec Cook playing second. Ronaldo Gonzalez at shortstop. Alec Rivera playing third base. Dane Stapley catching. Nathaniel Bresner Mendoza, the starting pitcher. Hayden Humphrey in left. Reed Conley in center. And Trey Reinhardt in right field. Damon Peters the batter. 2-0 the count with 2 outs and the bases loaded. The pitch in there for a strike. Again, LB trailing 3-0 in the bottom of the 3rd. Peters representing the go-ahead run at the plate. 2-1 the count as Mendoza reads the signs from his battery mate Stapley. The pitch on the way. Fouled at the plate. And the count goes even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. LBCC looking to break something open and get it started with 2 outs as the 2-2 pitch is grounded past the diving Alec Rivera. Or I shouldn't say diving, I guess kneeling Alec Rivera. He tried to get it on the backhand and was unable to come up with it. And scoring is Spencer Desbians. It's been a hard-fought battle but LB does get on the board with 2 outs, and all of the action coming with 2 outs. Desbean scores, LB now trailing 3-1 in this bottom of the 3rd inning, and Caleb Smith at the plate. The first pitch to Smith, a strike, 0-1 the count. Caleb struck out looking at his first at bat. Here he has the bases loaded with 2 outs. Clark leading LB 3-1. As the 0-1 is outside and away. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs. Dane Stapley doing a good job to knock that one down in the dirt. 60 to 70 feet of foul territory behind the plate all the way to the backstop. So when a ball gets away, it gets away. And oftentimes if runners are on third base, they score. More often than not, I would say. The 1-1 misses down low. 2 balls, 1 strike, 2 outs. The base is loaded. Colton Coster, the runner on third. Jack Bauer, the runner on second. Damon Peters aboard on... They gave him a hit for that. I would have scored an E5. Nonetheless, Damon Peters is the runner on first. Caleb Smith swings at the 2-1. And the count goes to 2 balls, 2 strikes, with 2 out. Clark leading 3-1 in the bottom of the 3rd inning. LBCC with a chance to break it open. Caleb Smith, the batter. The 2-2 pitch. Line into left field, and Caleb does break it open. Coming in to score is Colton Concert. Jack Bauer right on his heels, and he will score. Caleb Smith ties up the ball game and slides into second base with the RBI double, scoring Jack Bauer and Colton Concert. The score is now 3-3, and that will be the last of Mendoza. As the pitching coach comes out, we will have a pitching change. Aboard on third base is Damon Peters. He was aboard on an error by the third baseman with 2 outs. Caleb Smith slaps one to left field and scores 2 with 2 outs. And we will have a pitching change here with LB scoring 3 runs with 2 outs here at the bottom of the 3rd inning and tying it 3-3. We are here in the bottom of the 3rd. We have a new pitcher, and we will be back with information on this pitcher momentarily. Thank you again for tuning in and listening to Roadrunner Baseball. The new pitcher coming in here in the bottom of the 3rd inning is number 34, Derek Brown. Derek steps in without an ERA. He has a 1-0 record through 13 innings of work and 6 appearances. He also has 6 strikeouts compared to 3 walks. The first batter he faces will be Josh Congdon. Runners on second and third. A tie ball game. All 3 runs for LB coming across in this inning. 2 outs. Josh Congdon, the batter. 1-0 the count to Congdon, who is 0 for 1 with a strikeout. Congdon takes, and the count goes to 1 ball and 1 strike. The wind's picking up here at the LBCC Baseball Diamond. An exciting inning as Linn Benton chases the start of Nathaniel Bresner Mendoza, who went 2 2/3. Gave up 3 runs on 4 hits. There was 1 error in this inning. He had 4 strikeouts in total and only 1 walk. 2-1 the count now on Josh Congdon. He grounds the 2-1 foul, and the count evens again at 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs. I feel like I've been saying that a few times in this inning, and I'm glad we've been saying it a few times in this inning. LBCC staying alive after the starter, Nathaniel Breser-Mendoza, got back-to-back strikeouts on Cole Carter and Logan Meadows. Those are the 7 and 8 hole hitters. We are back at the 5-hole hitter in Josh Congdon. With 2 balls, 2 strikes, runners on 3rd and 2nd. Damon Peters aboard 3rd, Caleb Smith aboard 2nd. The 2-2 pitch is swung on and missed for strike 3. So Derek Brown does a good job to come in and get out of the inning. LB scores 3 runs on 3 hits in this inning. There was 1 error, and after 3 we are tied at 3-3. We'll go to the top of the 4th inning, but again, to recap, Spencer Desbeans with 2 outs hit a line drive to left field. Colton Collister was hit by a pitch. Jack Bauer walked. Damon Peters was aboard on an error by the 3rd baseman. Caleb Smith came in big with the RBI double to left. And Josh Congdon ends the inning here with a strikeout. Nonetheless, LBCC brings 3 across in the bottom of the 3rd, and we are tied 3-3 as we go to the top of the 4th inning. Thank you again for tuning in and watching LBCC baseball. Dane Stapley steps into the right-handed batter's box and leads things off in this top of the 4th inning, takes the first pitch for a strike. Strickland, a quick worker, comes back in the dirt. 1-1 the count on Stapley, the catcher. Stapley had a sacrifice bunt in the 2nd. This is his 2nd at bat. A 3-3 tie, top of the 4th inning. LBCC pushing across 3 runs in the bottom of the 3rd. Clark picked up their first run in the 2nd and 2 in the 3rd. It was a long inning last inning and a lot of offensive output, a brand new ball game. The 2-1 pitch is stopped by Josh Congdon, and the Clark fans to my left loving it. Congdon showing off his athleticism there at 3rd base. Great diving play. For out number 1, Ronaldo Gonzalez, the shortstop, coming to the plate now. He popped up in the 2nd, and he stands in here in his 2nd at-bat, hitting .250 on the season. He is 10 for 40. Takes the first pitch outside. Ball 1. 1-0 with 1 out. Ronaldo Gonzalez, the batter. Alec Cook on deck. The 1-0 is lined foul on the left field line. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. A 3-3 tie, top of the 4th inning. LBCC taking on Clark here at home. They'll be at Clark tomorrow in Vancouver, Washington, with a 1 o'clock start time. Back here versus Lane at home on next Friday, April 21st. The 1-1 in there for a strike, and the 1-2 fouled back and out of play into the parking lot behind us. A beautiful day, and as much as we can ask for here in April in the Northwest, as the 1-2 pitch is fouled out of play as well. A little windy, really cold, but just slightly rainy. So again, I have to be thankful we're able to play 2 here at Linn Benton Community College in Albany, Oregon, where it has, this is a real statistic, as the 1-2 is lifted to right field. Smith started in and goes back to make the catch for out number 2 in the top of the 4th.
Now up number 4, second base.
That'll bring Alec Cook at the bottom of the lineup to the plate. This is a real statistic. Since October, the Mid-Valley hasn't had more than 2 consecutive days without rain. That's a real statistic, and so for those of you not from this area, that'll just kind of enlighten you on what we deal with around here. Is the first pitch in there for a strike from Strickland. So no more than 2 days without rain, and does not surprise me once you think about it. As the second pitch, breaking ball, nice pitch from Strickland. 0-2 the count with 2 outs in the top of the 4th inning. The 0-2 pitch in the dirt to Alec Cook. 1 ball and 2 strikes. As Cook takes the 1-2, makes Meadows move over to his left, and Meadows makes another good play.
Top half of the 4th. Clark gets no
A couple great plays in this ball game already for Linn Benton, a couple by Meadows and a couple by Congdon. And here we go to the bottom of the 4th inning with a 3-3 tie. LBCC taking on the Clark College Penguins. Again, thank you so much for tuning in. Okay, yeah. Tate Cowden leading off the bottom of the 4th inning, and swinging at the first pitch, he grounds it to the 6th hole, and what would have been a great play by Ronaldo Gonzalez, he comes up with it and it drops out of his glove on the spin, but it was a great stop by Gonzalez nonetheless. And Cowden aboard.
Next up, number 4.
And we'll have to see how they score that too. They give him a hit. So there have been 2 now that have been iffy, and they've both been scored hits. So, interesting. And it would have been a tough play for Gonzalez nonetheless. Cowden aboard first base. Cole Carter at the plate, showing bunt right away with nobody out. Bottom of the 4th inning, a tied ball game. 3-3 the score. Clark College here. And Cowden's first pitch. The first pitch. Cowden showed bunt and took a strike. 0-1 the count with Cowden aboard first base. He goes to second, and on the bunt from Carter, 1 down.
Now batting.
Cowden, however, does move to second base, and Logan Meadows will come to the plate. Meadows is 0 for 1 with a strikeout. He steps in here with a runner in scoring position. Meadows has 2 RBIs on the season. With 1 out, Tate Cowden, the runner, aboard second. I had written E6 on my scorecard, and this official scorer wrote it was a hit. I guess we have to go with the official score. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out, 1 on, in Tate Cowden aboard second. Tie ball game, 3-3 here, as Derek Brown pumps another one in there for a strike. 1-2 the count now on Logan Meadows. Brown came in the 3rd inning for the last out. Meadows here grounds one foul off of Coach Gibson in the third base coach's box. One and two the count. Spencer Desbean's on deck. We're at the bottom of the order. Meadows is the 8-hole hitter, and Spencer Desbean's then, of course, rounding off the lineup. The 1-2 pitch is fisted in the air. Moving over, making the catch is the third baseman, Alec Rivera.
Now up number 3, left fielder, Spencer Desbean.
2 down, Spencer Desbeans will come to the plate. Desbean singled with 2 outs in his last at-bat and ended up scoring a run in the 3rd. It was a big inning for the Roadrunners. They scored all 3 of their runs in the last inning. Desbean steps in here with 12 RBIs and a runner in scoring position. He swings at the first pitch and lifts it into shallow left field. Moving over is Hayden Humphreys to make the catch. No runs on 1 hit, slash an error. We'll call it a hit because they're calling it a hit. And no runs, 1 hit, and no errors. We go to the top of the 5th inning. LBCC and Clark all tied up. Thanks again for tuning in to LBCC Baseball. Reed Conley, first pitch swinging, grounds it at Josh Congdon, who makes a nice play. Another diving play for Josh Congdon, and quite the athlete there at third base. And I'm not just saying that because the Congdons tune in to almost every game. Bob said, thank you for braving the elements, and you're welcome, Bob Congdon, for tuning in, or for braving these elements. It's actually gotten quite nice here, as Congdon at third base makes quite a nice play to retire at the top of the order Reed Conley. Trey Reinhardt, the right fielder, steps in and takes the first pitch strike from Strickland. And KJ comes back and misses. 1-1 the count. We've had a couple of web gems, 2 from Congdon and 1 from Meadows. Great diving, spinning plays, as this one sails over the head of Congdon into left field for a base hit. Reinhardt aboard with his first hit of the game. With 1 down, a runner on first base for Josh Berman.
Now batting, first baseman number 1, Josh Berman.
Berman is 1 for 2. He doubled in the 3rd and struck out in the 1st. He's hitting .283 on the season, and is a freshman from North Medford High School. Berman playing first base today has Troy Reinhardt, the right fielder, aboard first. Big breaking ball in there for a strike. Nice pitch from Strickland. Strickland again coming into today's game, has an ERA of 2.76 through 29 and a third innings pitched in 6 appearances. He fires over to first. Diving back is Trey Reinhardt, being held on by Colton Cosner at first, Tate Cowden playing second, Logan Meadows at short, Josh Condon at third base, Jack Bauer behind the plate, and of course KJ Strickland on the mound. The runner dancing around first base. Bauer popped up, looked like he was going to try a back pick attempt. In the last game, LBCC picked runners off the base path 3 different times, so good defensive effort there. I believe 1 throw down from Alex O'Rourke to get the runner leading at first, and then 2 by pitchers, I think they're both by Logan Hatley, to pick off runners. 1 was by Trevor Wells, you're correct. So, I mean, just that's impressive to get 3 on the base paths in the last game. Here, 2-1 the count to Josh Berman with 1 out. And that one in there for a strike, and the count evens at 2 balls and 2 strikes. A 3-3 tie, top of the 5th inning. LBCC taking on the Clark College Penguins here at home. They'll be at Clark tomorrow with a 1 p.m. start time of another doubleheader in Vancouver. Trey Reinhardt getting his lead off of first base. Strickland looks over his shoulder and checks him back as the 2-2 is grounded into the on-deck circle. Nice play by Hayden Humphrey as he's standing there taking practice swings. Again, Berman 1 for 2. He steps back in as Strickland reads the signs from his battery mate Jack Bauer behind the plate. Looks back, the runner Trey Reinhardt at first base and fans Josh Berman. 2 down. Hayden Humphrey coming to the plate.
Next up,
Humphrey
33, Hayden Humphrey.
was aboard on a walk in the first and had an RBI single and scored a run in the third. The first one from Strickland misses down low. 1-0 the count on Hayden Humphrey, the sophomore from Battleground, Washington, and Battleground High School. The 1-0 is grounded past the diving Tate Cowden. A nice hit there for Hayden Humphrey to keep his team alive in this top of the 5th inning. With 2 outs, Trey Reinhardt moves to second base, and Hayden Humphrey, the runner, at first. That'll bring Nathan Alfonso, the designated hitter, to the plate. Nathan is 1 for 2. He singled in the third and grounded out in the first. Here he has runners on first and second with 2 outs. A tie ball game. KJ Strickland's first pitch. Breaking ball misses just inside. 1-0 the count to Alfonso. The sophomore from Graham, Washington. Strickland gives the nod to a sign. The 1-0 pitch is grounded at Josh Condon, who goes to third for the force. A heads-up play there by Josh Condon for out number 3. A 3-3 tie still as we go to the bottom of the 5th inning. LBCC taking on the Clark Penguins here at home. Colton Costner leads off the bottom of the 5th inning. The top of the order for the Roadrunners. Costner is 0 for 1 and was hit by a pitch and scored a run in the 3rd inning. Clark struck first in this 2nd game of the doubleheader. They scored a run in the 2nd inning as the first pitch is in there for a strike from Brown. And the 0-1 check swing foul at the plate. 0-2 the count. Clark scored 1 in the 2nd and picked up 2 in the top of the 3rd. LBCC answered back quickly, however, in the bottom of the 3rd, scoring all 3 of their runs to tie it up. We are in the 3-3 tie in the bottom of the 5th. As Costner takes the 0-2 low and away. 1 ball and 2 strikes from Derek Brown, who came in the 3rd inning after Nathaniel Bresner of Mendoza found himself in that little bit of trouble. Mendoza's official line, 3 runs on 4 hits, 5 hits, 4 hits. We had some issues with the, I had written error when there was a hit in the official scorebook. So 3 runs, 4 hits on no errors. 4 strikeouts and 1 walk for the starter, Nathaniel Bresner Mendoza. Here the 1-2 pitch misses down low. 2 balls and 2 strikes on Colton Costner, the leadoff batter in this 2nd game of the doubleheader. The 2-2 pitch is caught by the first baseman Josh Berman in foul territory for out number 1. Jack Bauer will come to the plate now. Bauer's 1 for 1 with a walk.
Catcher number 24, Jack Bauer.
He singled in the 1st, walked in the 3rd, and scored a run in the 3rd as well. Bauer is a sophomore from Union High School and a native of Vancouver, Washington. He takes the first pitch outside. And that one called a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Jack Bauer, the batter. Bauer hitting .209 on the season. And here he ropes one into right field. Moving back is Trey Reinhardt. And that one's gone. Jack Bauer puts his team up with 1 swing. Bauer's first home run of the season comes in time to put his team up. A 4-3 lead now for Linn Benton over the Clark College Penguins. A hard-hit line drive as Bauer delivers. It's always fun to write that on my scorecard, and not often. So Bauer with the big hit. That'll bring Damon Peters to the plate with nobody on, 1 out. LB up 4-3. First pitch to Peters misses. 1-0 the count. Peters grounded into a 6-4-3 double play in his first at bat. Here the 1-0 misses. 2-0 the count. This Peters was one that I had scored an error as well in the 3rd, but our official score says it was a hit, so he's 1 for 2 with a hit in the 3rd and grounded out in the 1st. A 3-0 count now with 3 straight balls, and that one in there for a strike. 3-1 the count now on Damon Peters. Peters is a freshman from Hillsborough High School. The 3-1 pitch is swung on and missed, and the count goes full. LBCC up now 4-3 on the solo shot by Jack Bauer in this inning. Bottom of the 5th. 1 down, and the 3-2 pitch is swung on and grounded at the plate. Peters the batter with 1 down. Caleb Smith on deck. Heading to the heart of the order with Peters the 3-0 hitter and Smith in the cleanup spot. Derek Brown came in in the third inning. And here gets up another hard hit ball to the alley in left center field. Moving over to make the catch is Conley. A long out for Damon Peters. And out number 2.
Right fielder, number 6, Caleb Smith.
Caleb Smith will come to the plate now. Smith with the, I was going to say the biggest hit of the game, but perhaps that Bauer was technically the biggest hit. Smith with maybe the most important hit of this game. The 2 RBI double in the third that scored Jack Bauer and Colton Costner to tie things up. All of that done with 2 outs. He takes the first pitch here, outside, ball 1. 1-0 the count, bottom of the 5th inning. With 2 outs, he grounds this one at Alec Rivera at third. Rivera is up with it and over for out number 3.
Bottom half, 5th inning.
So Jack Bauer does it himself and sends one over the right field fence. His team now, LB now up 4-3 as we go to the top of the 6th inning. Thank you again for tuning in as LB takes on Clark here at home.
Alec Rivera.
Alec Rivera leading things off in the top of the 6th inning, swinging at the first pitch from the new pitcher right at Logan Meadows, who's up with it for out number 1. Trey Reinhardt, now the right fielder, will come to the plate. The new pitcher taking over for KJ Strickland here in the top of the 6th inning is Jordan McDaniel, the freshman from Estacada High School in Estacada, Oregon. We'll get you some numbers on McDaniel, who we saw in the first game as well. First pitch, strike to Trey Reinhardt. He's 1 for 3 on the day, singled in the 5th, and grounded out in both the 1st and the 3rd. With 1 down, McDaniel's 0-1 offering is a ground ball to Tate Cowden. A 4-3 putout for out number 2. That brings up Josh Berman. Oh, I'm so sorry. It was a 6-3 putout for the first out to Alec Rivera. Then Dane Stapley just grounded out to Tate Cowden for out number 2. That'll bring Ronaldo Gonzalez to the plate. Gonzalez takes the first pitch strike, back-to-back first pitch strikes for Jordan McDaniel, taking over for KJ Strickland here in the top of the 6th. The 0-1 pitch is going to be a long run for Colton Costner. He hustled all the way to the chain link fence in foul territory, and again, about 60 feet of foul territory out there, a lot of grass. Costner does a good job of hustling. Ends up just being a long strike. Strike 3 called for Jordan McDaniel as he gets Ronaldo Gonzalez looking. 3 up, 3 down for the new pitcher, McDaniel. We'll get you KJ Strickland's line and some information on McDaniel when we come back as we go to the bottom of the 6th inning. LBCC leading it 4-3.
Josh Now pitching for Clark, number 44, Zach Anderson.
Hey, Colt. Can you check the score of the Beaver game somehow? Thanks. freezing. Huh? Why?
He literally steps all the way across the mountain, so the ball's coming this way, but it's running the other way.
Oh, yeah, totally.
Watch.
Yeah, it's weird.
He swung over everything.
That's always good for 6 for 4. 6 for 4. 6? Okay, well, I don't have a 6 on the roster. It's crossed off. Maybe it's Gerardo Garfias. I have it crossed off Gerardo Garfias. Gerardo Garfias. Huh.
Bradley Weiss, number 6 at bat.
Bradley Weiss steps in, taking over for Alec Cook here in the top of the 7th inning. And good attempt there from Jack Bauer, making chase all the way into the dugout. The count goes to 0-2 on Bradley. It sounded like they're saying Weiss. Our PA announcer said Weiss. Bradley Weiss, the batter. Great, thank you. And it is Weiss. Bradley takes over for Alec Cook here in the 9-hole. And strikes out. Out number 1 in the top of the 7th inning. Linn Benton leading 10-3 in the top of the 7th, picking up 6 runs in the bottom of the 6th inning. It was an exciting 6th inning. And this game has been exciting with a triple, a couple doubles, a home run from Jack Bauer, and a couple web gems from Josh Congdon and Logan Meadows. The first pitch to Reed Conley is fouled back and out of play. 0-1 the count with 1 out. The 0-1 pitch lifted to right field. Caleb Smith moves over and makes the catch. 2 down.
Next batter, right field.
Thank you again for tuning in here in the top of the 7th. They'll be up 10-3 over Clark, looking to improve to 8-2 in league and 18-6 overall. The first pitch to Trey Reinhardt in there for a strike. Jordan McDaniel here in his 2nd inning of work, coming in on relief of KJ Strickland, as the 0-1 is fouled out of play into the parking lot. 0-2 the count with 2 outs. Trey Reinhardt the batter. Reinhardt 1 for 3, singled in the 5th and grounded out in the 1st and 3rd. He fights at the plate and fouls that one off and out of play. KJ Strickland's official line, 5 innings, 3 runs on 6 hits, and 2 strikeouts. Jordan McDaniels again came in the last inning, and here McDaniels gives up a single with 2 outs and an 0-2 count. That's Trey Reinhardt aboard first base and Josh Berman coming to the plate. And heavier rain picking up here at the ballpark. The first pitch from Josh Berman misses inside. 1-0 the count with 2 outs, a runner on first base. LB leading Clark 10-3 as the rain starts to pour down heavily, and you can probably hear it on the tent above us here. Very thankful to have this tent. As the 1-2 is lifted high in the air into the gap in left center field, moving all the way back to the track, to the wall. So long, baseball. Josh Berman goes up and sends 2 across the plate. As Trey Reinhardt and Josh Berman both score, the score now, LBCC 10, Clark 5.
Home run for Josh Berman.
On the 2-run home run from Josh Berman. As the rain starts to pour now, Hayden Humphrey coming to the plate. Humphrey, the left fielder, is 2 for 2 with a walk. He takes the first pitch here, a ball. As the rain's still falling, umbrellas popping up all over the stands. As the 1-0 misses down low, 2-0 the count from Jordan McDaniel, 2 outs. McDaniel's giving up the 2-run home run with 2 outs. 3-0 the count now with 2 outs. 10-4 road runners over the Penguins. 10-5, pardon me. Top of the 7th inning. The 3-0 is in there for a strike from McDaniel. 3 balls, 1 strike on Hayden Humphrey. Nathan Alfonso, the designated hitter, on deck. Humphrey, a slow chopper out the third baseline, fielded by Congdon over to first for out number 3.
Clark gets 2 runs on 2 hits.
2 runs on 2 hits, no errors. And the final score,
Linn Benton.
10-5. LBCC won the first game 1-0, and here, in more of an offensive affair, 10-5 the final score.
5 runs on 8 hits.
LBCC improves to 8-2 overall, 18-6
3 errors and left.
in league. Clark drops to 3-2 and 12-5 overall. Thank you again for tuning in. LBCC will be at Clark tomorrow starting at 1 p.m. in Vancouver, Washington, and we'll be back here on Friday, April 21st, starting at 1 p.m. Thanks again for tuning in. Have a happy Easter, everyone.